Alright, and welcome back to a new video, and one that has been quite eagerly anticipated from myself and hopefully from yourself as well. It is a bit of national hunt talk, and it's a bit of talk about the Cheltenham Festival. I wasn't actually planning to do a video on the Cheltenham Festival quite this early, but I looked back at previous videos that I've done in years gone by, and I did a Ante-Post video on the 5th of September in 2018 and the 7th of September last year, and we're sitting here on Monday the 14th of September this year, and I'm going to be giving you 4 Ante-Post bets for the 2021 Cheltenham Festival, and hopefully it might evoke a little bit of chat and a bit of debate about the season upcoming. Obviously there's still some great flat meetings to go in the year, and I've actually enjoyed the flat season a lot more this year than usual. And obviously the Irish Champions weekend just went by there and was some excellent racing indeed. I was proven completely wrong about Magical. Hold my hands up to that. She was absolutely brilliant. We managed to get a couple of winners. Cadillac was really impressive, and Safe Voyage, the English raider, drifted out to 4-1 just before the off and got his nose down to beat Sinuan in the Boomerang Mile. So a few nice little winners, a few bits of great racing, but we all know that the massive racing is in March, and it is the Cheltenham Festival. Obviously, I'll be doing a National Hunt Horses to Follow video probably in a few weeks' time when I just have a little bit more time. I want to put in a lot of work into that to make sure I'm kind of finding ones that perhaps you guys mightn't have picked up, or, you know, just not the ones that, you know, everyone's going to tell you to back come the big races. But anyway, 4 ones for the Cheltenham Festival of 2021. A few of them you'll know probably if you follow me on Twitter or you followed some of my previous videos. You'll know that I like the horses and therefore probably won't come as a big surprise. But if I look back at my videos last year, I put up far too many Ante-Post bets. Far too many. I know that myself. I think I got a little bit overexcited. As for this year, I'm going to try and actually find horses that, you know, have a massive chance of going to the race, and if they go to the race, they should put up a very good account of themselves. And I believe with these 4, hopefully they all will manage to do that, fingers crossed. Starting off with the first one, which I have talked about a fair bit on other videos and other platforms and stuff like that, and its latest exhibition for the Rsa Chase, the Paul Nolan horse. He's currently widely available at 16-1, which I think is a fair enough price. He's in there at 4th or 5th favourite. Obviously, at this time of the season, you know, you're going to get these double-figure prices, and as you always know with, you know, novice hurdlers going novice chasing, there is that caveat of kind of, will they be able to jump very well? You know, we obviously don't know. I don't know that he's going to be a brilliant jumper, but everything would suggest he will be. The trainer and the assistant trainer, Paul and James, both are very confident that he'll be actually a better chaser than he was a hurdler. And his hurdling performances this year, looking back on them, were actually very, very good. Having won a maiden hurdle, beating a well-regarded Gordon Elliott handicap hurdler called Datsy. At Galway, he finished second to Abracadabras, who was only beaten a schnoz in the Supreme over 2 miles at Navan before bursting Andy Dufresne's bubble at Navan the month after that. He then stepped up in trip to 2 mile 6. Sorry, the Andy Dufresne race was 2 mile 4, obviously. 2 mile 6, he won at the Dublin Racing Festival, beating the likes of Cobbler's Way, Longhouse Poet, Fury Road, Elixir Dane. A really good field that day, and then was just nutted out of it in second in the Albert Bartlett. As you'll find with this video, I'm taking that Albert Bartlett form this year to be very, very strong, I think. I think the 4 horses in front are all pretty good horses, to be honest. Janadil's a very good horse back in 5th. There's even horses like Cobbler's Way, who was well down the field, that I certainly wouldn't be giving up on over fences this year. But latest exhibition is a horse I've backed a fair few times. I do have a bit of an affiliation and with the horse from seeing him a few times. And I do obviously like these Paul Nolan horses, as you've probably realised over time. I do think he'll improve. I think he's also got, he's got a year above a lot of these horses, the Monkfishes, the Fury Roads. He'll be 8 come next March, and sometimes in the RSA it's a bit of a grueler of a race, and you know, you might need that age experience to get yourself over the line in a sort of slog. The only thing I can see potentially happening is if this horse is being almost regarded as being too slow, and maybe the RSA looks to be a really good race. Like, I'm taking it on the basis that NYLN won't run in the RSA. He'll run in the Marsh. That's how I'm seeing it. But, of course, if he goes to the RSA, that leaves us in a bit of a tricky situation. And in that case, I suspect Latest Exhibition might be pushed out to the National Hunt Chase, if it's obviously still around. It hasn't been, I don't think it's been announced yet what race is going for the Mare's Chase. But I don't know. That's all hypothetical at the moment, should I say. So Latest Exhibition, I do think the RSA is his most likely target. I think he'll be a good horse over fences. If he can translate this novice hurdle form, I think he'll have a good shot. 16 to 1 seems a fair price to me. The second horse I am putting up is also at 16 to 1 for the Stayers Hurdle, and it's a horse coming out of the Albert Bartlett as well in Time Hill for Philip Hobbs. This horse was very, very unlucky in the Albert Bartlett. Latest Exhibition got a little bit of scrimmaging on the way to the last, but Time Hill got the door shut on him twice. He was still kind of finishing very strongly in fourth. I think he was only beaten a length and a half in the end. As I say, I'm rating these top four horses in the Albert Bartlett very highly. I think it was an above average renewal of the race. This horse came third, obviously, in the champion bumper behind NYLN. You'll know that. Won the Persian War at Chepstow, beating Fiddler on the Roof, and then won a Grade 2 at Cheltenham, then won the Shallow Hurdle. This horse just screams like 3 miles is his trip, though, and I don't, like, he certainly got it at Cheltenham, and I think he would have been banged there. It almost might have been a 4-way photo finish in the Albert Bartlett if he'd gotten the gaps. So I think he well gets the trip. The thing with this horse is he just slightly reminds me of kind of a staying hurdle type horse. He's not the flashiest, he's a game horse, he kind of finds a fair bit off the bridle, and he just wouldn't surprise me. I know Philip Hobbs has hinted that this horse might stay over hurdles. I don't know whether that's because he's looking at the Novice Chase division and going, that is very strong, or whether he's just thinking that this horse may be just better over hurdles than fences in the long term. I think the Stayers Hurdle division is a very, very exploitable division, to be honest. Paisley Park has a lot to prove coming back from hard problems. Obviously, if he returned to his best, would probably still win a Stayers Hurdle. And it's all this coulda, woulda, shouldas about Benny the Jew, but at the end of the day, I really don't see her rocking up in a Stayers Hurdle, to be honest. I know that's disappointing. I'd love to see her there, but I don't think she'll end up there. And therefore, like, she's above Time Hill in the market at 8 to 1. I think Time Hill's more likely to run in the race, unless I've missed the memo from Philip Hobbs. I do think they'll probably give him a season over hurdles, considering he'll only be 7 in March. You can still go chasing after that if this season doesn't turn out to be good. But I think he'll be an improver. He's obviously a graded horse. He's well up to the standard capable, I think. I think if you'd almost run him in the Stayers Hurdle this year, you know, when obviously Lisnagar or Oscar won it, I think he wouldn't have been that far away, even with a lack of experience. So Time Hill, 16 to 1 for the Stayers Hurdle, and I'm really, really keeping my fingers crossed that Albert Bartlett form stands the test of time. Moving on into the champion hurdle category, and one, I know it's been a slight Wise Guys horse. I know a few other people have put it up, but I also put a tweet up about it around 2 or 3 weeks after Cheltenham, I think. So I was kind of on the bandwagon pretty quickly, and it's a horse called Saint-Ouen, who won the county hurdle, obviously, beating Aramon by 4.5 lengths. And this summer's action in Ireland has only gone to further increase my thoughts about Saint-Ouen, as Aramon has obviously won a Galway hurdle, he won a Grimes hurdle as well. He's a very good horse, Aramon, a Grade 1 winner in his own right, and this horse absolutely smashed him. Now, he was getting weight, he was getting a fair bit of weight as well. He was off a mark of 139, so therefore, if he is a Grade 1 horse, he was entitled to win a county hurdle by 4.5 lengths. He's now up to a rating of 151. The champion hurdle division last year, with Epatante winning and Sharjah coming second, the horses were probably in and around the 165 mark. So Sanwa does have to improve around a stone, maybe even bigger than a stone if you think that a horse like Goshen or Abracadabras might be able to improve past a mark of 165. And also Epatant's not an old horse in any way, and she could keep improving as well. So there is heaps of improvement for Sanwa. I don't think they'll send this horse chasing. I think they might have a stab at the champion hurdle route. I look at Mullins. He always likes a good kind of horse to send at the champion hurdle. He doesn't really have one screaming out at him. Like, it would be going back to the well with Sharjah, Saldier. You know these horses aren't going to be winning a champion hurdle, I don't think. And also JP McManus likes having these 2 mile hurdlers running in the grade 1s. And I know he has Epatant, I know he has Bouverdaire, but he doesn't have any horse to be running in like the Ryanair hurdle. It's not even the Ryanair hurdle anymore. I think it's the Matchison hurdle at Christmas time at Leopardstown in the Irish champion hurdle. He has no horse over here that is kind of fulfilling that role at the moment, in my eyes. And I think Sanwa might be the horse that they have a pop at the race with. He's only 5. He'll be 6 come March. There will be improvement to come from this horse. Whether there's a stone's improvement, I'm not sure. But I think that's worth the risk at 20 to 1. I know a few fairly wise eyes also think he might have a bit of a squeak if he goes down this road. And finally, the shortest price of the 4, a 12 to 1 shout for the Ryanair Chase, and it is Allaho. And this is a horse that has actually burnt my fingers a few times, but he's not a horse that I've, because of that, I've lost interest in. I think he's a really, really smart horse. They keep on persevering with 3 miles with this horse, despite the fact that in my eyes, he just clearly doesn't stay 3 miles. So I know a fair few of you guys are sweet on Allaho. Again, he's a horse that I suspect a few people are sweet on, but I'm putting up my bets for Cheltenham, and he is one of them at this stage. He's one of the 4 I'm backing. So you can get 8 to 1 any race with Allaho, and that's probably something that you'd have to consider, because there isn't that much, like 8 to 1, 12 to 1. But I'm just going to take a punt. I like backing horses, hoping they run in a race. This any race stuff, it's a good market in a lot of respects, but also you need to get some sort of price about these horses. And I don't know, I wouldn't take 8 to 1 about Allaho winning a Gold Cup at all. Like, I wouldn't probably take 80 to 1 about Allaho winning a Gold Cup. So I do think the Ryanair is the race for him. Again, I think it's a race that's potentially exploitable. I'm one of the biggest fans of Min. Everyone here knows that. But I do think he must become vulnerable to an improver at this stage of his career. A Plus Tard has never been a horse that's really done it for me. And you look at the horses coming from the novice chases, and I just think the RSA was probably the strongest of the lot. I'm not quite sure what to make of the Marsh, with Sam Crow, Faugheen, Mellon. I'm not sure. It wouldn't be a race that I'd particularly take to war with, even though I'm obviously such a massive fan of Faugheen and Sam Crow. I'm not sure about the strength and depth of that race. As for Manila Indo and Allaho are 2 horses I'd definitely be taking in to this year with me. I think they got embroiled in a match kind of far away from home, and I know it was brilliant what Champ did, but I think he kind of swooped on the breadcrumbs really after the 2 had kind of battled each other for so long. Allaho shaped kind of like the almost, I don't want to say because, it will get me into trouble or something, but I think he shaped like the classiest horse in the race, probably the horse with the most speed, and it wouldn't have surprised me if he'd won the Marsh Novices Chase, to be honest. But I think stepping back down in trip to 2 miles 5 at Cheltenham could see this horse to absolute optimum. I know they might try and go at the Gold Cup because the Gold Cup is the blue ribbon event, but that being said, I think they'd be wasting a perfect opportunity to maybe win the Ryanair this year. I think 12 to 1, if you were to get a news bulletin tomorrow, confirming that Allaho would run in the Ryanair Chase come March 2021. There's no way it'd be 12 to 1. So I'm going to take that price now. I'm sure maybe one or two of you might have bigger prices than that, but 12 to 1 will do me. So to conclude, the 4 Ante-Post bets for the 2021 Cheltenham Festival so far is latest exhibition at 16 to 1 for the RSA, Time Hill at 16 to 1 for the Stayers Hurdle, Samoa at 20 to 1 for the Champion Hurdle, and Allaho at 12 to 1 for the Ryanair. I know, there's heaps of Cheltenham videos around, there's heaps of Cheltenham opinions around. These probably end up mixing and matching with the odd person here and there. It's not like I never kind of take ideas from other people, to be honest. It's not something I do. I don't really see the point in it, to be honest. These are 4 horses that I like in my own right, the 4 horses I've backed in my own right, and hopefully they can do the business. I'm sure, like last year, I will be doing kind of Ante-Post sort of updates throughout the year, maybe throwing a few more selections into the mix at some stage down the line, but certainly not at the moment, and I'd advise you not to get maybe overly carried away with Cheltenham at the moment. It's nice to raise a bit of talk, get the blood juice flowing and all that, but just wait until we see some of these good horses back out, and then we can start making some even bigger opinions going forward. But I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, please do give it a like and subscribe to the channel down below. And obviously one of the main premises of these Cheltenham videos is to engage discussion. So if you have any thoughts about Cheltenham down below, some of the prices you've taken, some of the horses you've backed or are thinking of backing, do let me know down below, and do let everybody know down below. And until I see you guys next time, stay safe, stay well, land a few bets, and I'll see you guys then. Cheers.